Hello, my name is Renee Ward. I am the Eastern Regional Manager for BDC Software with Trimble MEP, and I've been asked to discuss a little bit about my love for sailing and yacht racing, and also kind of talk about how Trimble may have influenced my sport. So, back in the 90s, there were a lot of sailors that I talked to who were talking about their GPS, and I really didn't understand what that was or what GPS was for. So I started investigating it, and I realized, wow, a positioning system, something that can actually tell you where you are at any given moment. And then I found out you could buy one of these little handheld units for $400. Wow. But then I realized it would give me my speed. It would tell me my speed over ground, my VMG, my velocity made good. So in other words, how quickly am I getting to the destination? On a sailboat, you don't necessarily sail in a straight line, especially when you're going upwind. So VMG is really important to know. How quickly can we get to our destination, or in my world of racing, how quickly can we get to the finish line? I went out back in the mid 80s and bought this handheld GPS and took it out on a race one night. We were actually racing at night, and the skipper that I was racing with had been around a long time, didn't believe in the technology. He was fine with just using a compass and looking at the wind. Maybe you could call it sailing by the seat of his pants, but he was good at it. So anyway, throughout the night, I kept giving him information that I was seeing on my GPS unit. And at first he kept saying, "Oh, you don't need that. You don't need that. That's just a gadget." That's all he thought about. It's just a gadget. So I kept giving him this information throughout the night. I kept telling him how far off the rum line we were, which is basically the straight line between point A and point B. That's your rum line. So I kept telling him, hey, we're a quarter mile off the rum line. We need to get back on course. And I kept giving him information like this, telling him what our VMG was, how quickly are we making it to our mark, things like that. Before long, he started asking questions. So, hey, what does that thing say? Hey, what's that GPS thing saying? Before you know it, he became a believer. And from that moment on, I probably raced every race since then with a GPS. So, probably one of the latest advancements and technology in how GPS is being used in sailing and yachting are these GPS trackers. I was fortunate enough last week to actually race in the 25th anniversary of Charleston Race Week. This is a regatta that invites people from around the world to come in and show their stuff and show what they are capable of. If you look at this app right here, you can see all the different classes of boats that raced. I was actually in this class here, the Melgas, or Melgas, depending on what, how you pronounce it. But anyway, the Melgas 24 race. I'm going to go ahead and click on replay right there. And I think this is just amazing. So what we did at the beginning of the regatta is everyone was given a tracker. And we put these trackers on the back of our boat. And throughout the regatta, we were able to, in real time, watch the race on a smartphone or a computer. And then at the end of the day, or at the end of the regatta, we could go back and actually watch what we did and what other boats did and check out our performance. I'm going to speed up the race a little bit. I can speed up the time, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. These were all the boats jogging for their start, looking for a good start. And you can see there was 35 boats in this race, by the way. So you can see 35 boats trying to make it around a little mark and then head back downwind to the leeward mark. All right, so now we're all making it around the leeward mark and coming back down to the windward mark. So this is the boats running upwind and then they make the turn at the windward mark, and now they're heading downwind. Okay, it's very cool. It actually labels all of the boats. You can see the boat numbers. Yep, that one right there, 330, that's us. Okay, so no, we didn't win that race, but just understand we are racing against some of the world's greatest sailors in this regatta here. There are actually professionals, and no, I'm not a professional. I'm an avid sailing lover. So that's the end of race one. Again, I think this is just some of the coolest technology, the ability for us to actually go back and see how we did. And we can even look to see where the winners are, and you know, how did they make their way around the course, and did we do things that we could have done, you know, are there things we could have done better, and so forth. To sum this up, I'm very impressed with how far along technology has taken us. I continue to be impressed and look forward to see where the technology is going to go. You know, I mean, it's like every other day there's a new feature or a new sense of a new level of information that comes back to us as a sailor and a yachter, and it's just great. So I'd like to thank Mr. Charlie Trimble for being a pioneer in the GPS industry, and also I'd like to thank him for not only changing the way the world works, but also how I play.